Have you ever been to a party, a banquet, and felt like something was missing? I mean, the food was great, the people were nice, but you didn't leave feeling truly nourished? Well, today we're going to dive into the ancient wisdom of the I Ching, the classic Chinese book of changes, to explore how a simple get-together can become a profound art form.
This is such a great question to start with. We usually think of gatherings as just a chance to kick back and have some fun. And yeah, that's part of it. But what if they could be so much more? What if a banquet could actually be a time to build energy, to elevate our spirits, and to create real, lasting harmony? The I Ching says absolutely it can, if we just come at it with the right mindset.
And this quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of it all. You see, true, deep enjoyment isn't about just endless indulgence. It's about balance. It's about understanding that to really appreciate the richness of an experience, we need clarity, we need purpose, and yeah, a little bit of discipline. We're going to unpack this whole idea by looking at 5 specific hexagrams from the I Ching.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the prep work you do before the gathering. Then we'll move through the right mindset to have during the event. And we'll wrap up with the discipline it takes to make that joy last. You can think of it as the complete life cycle for creating a truly meaningful get-together.
First up is the hexagram zoo, which means waiting. Now I know, waiting might sound a little strange when we're talking about a party, but it's actually the most critical first step, the preparation.
The Shu hexagram shows up when we're facing some kind of challenge, and it's just not the right time to make a move. In this context, a banquet isn't an escape or a distraction. No, it's a strategic pause. It's a time to gather your strength, both in your body and your mind.
Okay, what's really fascinating here is the reframing. For the wise person, the noble one, feasting while you're waiting isn't about forgetting your problems. It's about consciously nourishing your body with food and your mind with good company. You're calmly building up your energy reserves for when that moment to act finally arrives.
So the key insight from Zhu is this: stop thinking of waiting as empty time. Instead, see it as a strategic opportunity to nourish yourself. Every meal can be a preparation for your next big move, turning downtime into a vital part of your whole life strategy.
All right, so after preparing ourselves with Shu, what comes next? We've done our prep. Now what about when things are actually going really well? This brings us to the U hexagram, which is all about joy and ease.
U represents a time of pure happiness and prosperity. The image is of thunder just bursting from the earth in springtime, bringing life and joy to everything. It's a fantastic place to be, but the I Ching also warns us that comfort can make us careless. This joy has to be handled wisely.
Now this is such a powerful idea. Instead of just indulging in raw, simple pleasure, the ancient kings channeled that joyful energy into something higher. They created music, they created ceremonies, not just for fun, but to honor virtue, to thank their ancestors, and to strengthen the community. They literally elevated pleasure into culture.
So, the big idea from you is to elevate your enjoyment. Don't just consume pleasure. Channel it. Turn it into culture, into ritual, into something that reinforces your highest values. It's all about having prudence within your pleasure, making sure our joy actually honors the best parts of ourselves.
Okay, so we've prepared ourselves with Su, and we're enjoying ourselves virtuously with you. But what's the real purpose of even coming together? Well, the Kui hexagram gives us the answer.
Kui literally means gathering, but its deepest meaning points to something like a sacred assembly. Think of a ceremony at an ancestral temple. It suggests that the highest form of a gathering isn't just a social event, it's a spiritual one, where our minds and our spirits can truly connect.
And this right here gets to the heart of it. A successful gathering, one that really lasts and benefits everyone. It isn't just about good food or a cool venue. It depends completely on the sincerity, the integrity, and the shared righteous purpose of the people who are actually there.
Let's frame it this way. Think of your next get-together as a kind of spiritual capacitor. The goal isn't just to have fun, it's to concentrate the sincere, positive energy of the group, creating something way more powerful than just the sum of its parts.
Now this leads us perfectly to our next idea. How do we actually create that positive energy? The Ding hexagram gives us an amazing metaphor, the cauldron.
So the ding was this sacred bronze vessel they used for cooking ritual meals. It represents the very act of nourishment and transformation, blending different ingredients into one harmonious, life-giving dish. At a gathering, the host, and really every guest, takes on the role of the ding.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this comparison. To cook food perfectly, you need a balance of soft fire for slow simmering and strong fire for searing. The I Ching says relationships are exactly the same. We need gentleness and warmth, absolutely, but we also need firmness and principle. A great gathering needs a host who can blend these two energies to create a space where everyone feels both welcomed and respected.
So the key takeaway from Ding is that a host is like a master chef of relationships. Your job isn't just to serve food, it's to actively blend the personalities and energies in the room, making sure everyone leaves feeling both physically and spiritually nourished by the whole experience.
So, we've built this incredible, nourishing, harmonious gathering. But how do we keep it from going off the rails, right? How do we make sure it doesn't just descend into excess and disorder? This is where our final hexagram, G, comes in.
Ji means moderation or limits. The image for it is a stalk of bamboo. Those solid nodes give it structure and separation, which is what allows the life-giving energy to flow right through the hollow center. Joyful occasions are fantastic, but they're especially prone to excess, so this principle is absolutely essential.
But here's the brilliant twist. Jichen is not about being a killjoy. The text specifically warns against bitter moderation or being way too strict. The point isn't to punish yourself. It's about finding the right measure, that sweet spot that allows for genuine enjoyment without leading to regret or chaos later on.
And this really drives home the final lesson. Discipline isn't the cage that traps joy. It's the trellis that helps it grow strong and last. Self-control is the key to turning a great night into a great memory, making sure that pleasure is sustainable. So let's do a quick recap. The art of gathering, according to the I Ching, begins with strategically preparing your energy. It's elevated when you channel joy into something bigger, like culture. It's deepened through sincere connection. It's made real by actively harmonizing relationships, and it's sustained through wise moderation.
And it all comes back to this. The next time you're at a gathering, think about this beautiful metaphor. The joy is that full cup. But the clear water of virtue and moderation, that's what lets you truly savor it without spilling a drop.
So this leaves us with a final thought. We all host and we all attend gatherings. The next time you do, I want you to think beyond the menu or the guest list. Ask yourself, what energy am I building here? What connections am I deepening? What am I truly nourishing? And what am I harmonizing?